Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to FPL Jedi Show episode 31, where we are going into game week 37. We are still left with one match in game week 36, but overall, all the results are here. Welcome, Azmin, to the show. How are you, brother? How's the feeling?
Okay, not too bad. Happy to finally see a green arrow, but there's still one more game, so hopefully it stays with a green arrow.
Yep, same with me. After like 5, 6 red arrow for the past, God knows, finally the green arrow comes in. Our transfer or our plan, especially your bench boosting last week in Game Week 30 has paid off. So we can see here in terms of ranking, myself at 189,000 into the 200,000 or below bracket, and Azmin also nearing to that range. So the feeling are good so far. Hopefully it continues by the end of game week 36. But our focus will now be into game week 37, main, the last double game week of the season, the penultimate fixture of the season also, game week 37. So definitely we hope to continue the good form, man.
Yep. So it all depends. Yeah. So anything because we at that stage that really anything can happen. So we need
Yep.
to try to be smart.
All if let's say we want to do anything gambles or miracle, definitely for the next 2 weeks before we hope to end the season on a high note. So the talking points for tonight, we'll definitely see how's our team performed so far. As we mentioned, left with one game, Spurs versus Arsenal, we play tonight. I think the likes of Son or even Kane or even Arsenal asset that we might have, like the Saka, Ramsey, Martinelli, and so on. We hope to bank some points tonight. We'll have a look at some of the match and we see we might not go through every single matches, okay? And then we'll have a look at the fixture ticker for the next 2 weeks, which is 37, 38. Some will play 3 games, some will play 2 matches only. So we might want to have a look for the last time which team that we should target. Okay, double game with 37. Yeah.
I think there's a team that plays one match, only one match left.
Yep. You are right. They are blanking this week. So we have a look at double game week 37 fixtures and players to target. Definitely, we can see the man on the right side, Richardson, could be the one that we want to get him in. And then free hit draft or the template that managers are looking at. If you're free hitting this week, mostly a lot of managers will do that. Also, maybe your last chance to bench boosting if you still have. And then what's the captain pick for this week? We want to still look at the Salah, which has been on off form, especially on the game week 36. They have been fall with only 3 points. We have a look at later at that Egyptian midfielders and what will be our transfer plan for this week. So let's jump straight in to your team. You scored 101 points so far on bench boosting. You're definitely delighted with this.
Yeah, I just wish it could have been better. It could be done so much better if players like Jota, Havertz, and Coutinho could have all done something. But otherwise, it's okay. I'm not too fast. A 20k rank, I'll take that. Because I'm also I'm fighting. I'm one of those trying to fight against the likes of the KDB captainers like yourself. So the fact that I'm still managing to get a rank rise, I think I can't be too annoyed with it. Yeah, with my points. So yeah, I'll take it because I'm in some of my groups where the people above me have finished with 50 plus points, 60, 70 points. So yeah, I'll take this as a win for myself.
Yep. If you can see, average points so far is 66. So if let's say
Oh,
100 points, yep.
oh, okay. I
You can
didn't
see
know
that.
that. Yeah. Okay.
Average points there. You can see it's 66 before Spurs versus Arsenal game. It could be higher after this. If they say Sun explosive tonight, but 100 points,
No. He's not.
three digits points.
Yeah.
We should not complain. There are some managers who actually scored two digits this week.
Yeah.
So yeah, uh, in terms of your bench boosting, I don't know what is your minimum target for bench boosting, but Foster 14 points, James 13, for Fana nothing, but Harvard's one. Total is like 28 points from your bench boost. I think it's more than what average manager
No,
should
you got
get
to be
from bench.
happy. Yeah, got to be happy when you have like, because if you remember, well, Foster did score 4 points because he had two saves in the last game without a clean sheet. But then then another 10 points. With getting all three bonus points and extra save point as well. Yeah, it could have been
Yep.
two save points, but it was just one. He had five saves, so it was like but it's okay. But Watford managed to get a clean sheet, and at the same time, Everton got Everton failed. That meant Everton failed to score. So because I didn't have the likes of Richarlison, so because if someone like Richarlison had scored, that's a pretty big point swing, and it will be even worse for me. So I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah. So bench boosting, you I can see successful because the last time I'm bench boosting in 33, I got only merely 15 or 16 points. So you're far much better.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So in terms Jota or even Coutinho points, uh, yeah, you had your transfer. Jota could easily be Diaz, but it's not the thing. But he could
Yep.
actually the person who scored for the next two games. We never know. Liverpool still in the fight.
Yep.
Coutinho have double fixture this week, so we still put trust on that player. Nikita is your definitely one of the main player who scored contribute the big points this week, two goals.
Yep.
Yeah.
The nice thing, he's already scored 13, so he's on track to be my most highest scoring point player, assuming he plays tonight. Which given his form, definitely he's definitely displaced Lacazette as the first choice up there. And the thing is, Lacazette has become all too predictable, and I can see why Nketiah has taken the mantle as the person leading the line for Arsenal, and it'll be interesting to see. Although if you followed the latest transfer news, I think Arsenal are looking at Gabriel Jesus,
Okay.
yes, and yeah, as a price. So I don't know, what Nketiah thinks of that, and will that be an issue for him? But the thing is, with City, we've seen Nketiah play on the right side as well for Manchester City, but I'm sure that's not his. I'm sure his preferred position is still a striker. So, but that's a story for next season. But the but the point is that for me the point is that Nketiah is in the driving seat right now, and I would think that he will want to show that he deserves to be first choice for that spot. And you would think that the news of Arsenal interested in Gabriel Jesus will motivate him even more
Motivate.
to
Yeah.
to prove him. So hopefully that's how it goes. Yeah, not get upset like Anthony Marshall, for example,
Yeah.
in terms
Yeah.
of when competition arrives.
I'm happy for you. Definitely, you will keep him for the rest of the season because Arsenal away to Newcastle this week and then home to Everton at the last game. And Arsenal still have a lot to play. So I feel
Yes.
you're in a good position in terms of Nketiah. I do not have him. I would love to have him, but I'm
Yeah.
stuck with Broja. We can see my team next.
Yep.
Okay, I will not complain. I got a bit higher from Azmin, 118 points, solely from my captain, okay, KDB. Whoever thought he was gonna score first game 6 points, and then the game last night he got he scored
24.
he scored 4 goals, and then all in total 30 points. I got 60 points from him. No complaint. This is where I'm actually trying to push my ranking. A lot of
Well,
managers are captaining Salah this week. Okay, as you all know,
yeah.
and then I go to KDB. It's a big difference. You can see Salah only 3 and KDB is 30
So
points.
yeah. So I mean, I got to congratulate you, and when you look at it, he scored more than half your points at the moment, which is but the thing, it was a risk, and I'm happy for you, it paid off, because when we looked at it, I think there was the issue of KDB looking tired against Real
Yep.
Madrid, so he
Yep.
wasn't
Yep.
he wasn't really in the game, and then so we didn't so we and but it comes down to the fact that okay, sure, he was tired, so you could interpret it two ways. Does that mean he just needs a rest, or you'll just motivate him even more because after he was substituted out, Manchester City got kicked out of the Champions League. And then you would think that it pushes him to to do better. So you interpreted it the right way. I guess you decided to take that risk, and it paid off
Yep.
for you really well. So congratulations. And the thing is, I've been reading on Twitter and also even within my groups like how it was really jammy that people sold Salah for KDB only to see Salah be benched and KDB like explode. But we've seen that Salah has not lived up to his price. So with his price, you're expecting, and of recent, he just hasn't fit. He just has the second half of the season is nothing like the first half of the season, and so if it was a risk worth taking, but of course in your case it didn't matter because you still had Salah. You sold Havertz and Kane,
Yep.
right, to bring
Yep.
in
Yep. Yep.
KDB and Jesus. Okay, we'll see how Kane does, but I think the even the Havertz side alone already shows because Havertz only scored 1 point, and he was really just rubbish. Let's face it, he was rubbish. So yeah, good luck.
Yep.
So you got two, theoretically three, but I really don't think White will play. So Broja will come in to give you 120, and then with Ramsdale and Saka. I'm sorry, but I mean, from what I'm reading, I really don't see it. Yeah, so
Okay.
but that's okay.
Fair.
So,
Fair.
but
Okay,
you could,
I'll take 2 points instead of zero. White has been disappointing. So just to sum up other players, Ramsdale disappointing. He did not keep clean sheet, even though Arsenal played a 10-man Leeds team. He fall another goal. Ramsdale no clean sheet. I don't know for God's sake. I don't know how for the past how many weeks. And then TAA only 4 points, 2 points from the game. Cancelo 14, everyone almost have him. James finally he delivered 13 points, but it's actually from the game yesterday, one assist and clean sheet. Saka, we wait for tonight. I'm not sure whether he fit to play. I heard that he might suffer some injury, but I'm not too sure. Mount, even though he did not play the first game, he scored 13 points. So no complaint. He's the right man, not Harvard. So I made that the right choice at least. Okay.
yes, yes.
Salah 2 points. Gordon 3 points and 2 points for 2 game. Won't complain with his point. Jesus could be disappointing. He has played the first game and did not play the last night game. So if I made different transfer, like I mentioned, I have two options. Yeah, I brought in Richardson and Laporte and takes -4. It could be higher points, but I won't complain. I captain the right person, and
Yes.
KDB will be in my team this week. I suppose with the 4 goals that he has scored, I imagine people will try to bring him in. Not sure at the aspect of Salah or even Son.
No, yeah, but that's
Mhm.
where that's where the problem is now because there are double games to
Yeah.
be had. So it's a case of do we. So I guess that's the question that we need to ask ourselves when we finalize our teams, especially for those who are on a free hit actually because they have that option,
Yep. Yep.
which is which single game player is deserving of a spot in your squad that can
Yep.
score more than
Yep.
the double game players. So
I
that's
I
also.
I I agree. Tonight is interesting. Talking points that we can share because definitely I have the last chip of the season, which is the second free hit. Okay, I will
Yeah,
play this week, taking advantage some of the teams that we're gonna look later who played double this week. On your side, you have no chips left. So you're going to really plan for the next 2 weeks, 37, 38, who
yeah,
you're going to bring in and
yeah,
hopefully have decent matches for the next 2 games, so called.
yeah.
So we just have a look at team of the week. We just have a glance, okay? Some players who are not usually here, okay? Foster 14 points. You have him on your bench boost. He's the highest so far, okay? And then we can see Jensen. We have 2 rats from Everton and 2 rats from Brentford in terms of defending. Jensen and higher, 50 and 40 points. Keane, your your so-called player that you have before this, Keane have is scored 15 points in this game week. Even Mykolenko is another one, 14 points. So if you trust Everton backline, these are the players who perform for you. KDB and Sterling, okay, there has not been talking so much. KDB scored 30. Sterling, who a lot of manager had him before this and frustrated of not playing, he turned out to be the right player also in terms of Man City asset, 28 points, okay. Trossard 17, people are overlooking at him. Brighton scored 4 goals against Manchester United. Ben Rama, forgotten player. Okay, he performed in the early season, but Ben Rama scored 16 points. Buendia, the right prep from Aston Villa, 15 points. And whoever thought Lukaku from Chelsea scored 19 points this week, man. I'm not sure whether you are there to comment on this, but Lukaku, yes, you can take over.
So there's this funny fact about Lukaku. I'm not sure it was true after yesterday, but I think it still holds true. Is that Romelu Lukaku is currently the top scoring Chelsea player across all competitions. How, when you think about it, you have to, pause and think about it when because he's been barely there when it comes to the Premier League. Although now of late, he's finally scored a few goals here and there. But he has been Chelsea's top scorer, and even though we it's hard for us to pick him because where the league is concerned, he just hasn't delivered until recently. But it does what it does illustrate is that what's going on with Chelsea. Why have they not been more consistent? They've definitely got the players. We
Yep.
got Havertz, we got Mount, we got James, we got a Werner. So there's a lot of quality there, but unfortunately, this season they just flattered to deceive. Despite they did win the Champions League last season, when you think about it, yeah.
And
So
maybe Tuchel has experienced Havertz and he sees Havertz not aggressive enough or even crucial enough in front of goal, and he said, I think maybe he needs to bring back Lukaku at the right time before the FA Cup final this week. Could be. We're not sure. Maybe Havertz starts that game, but at least Lukaku on form for the past 2 games to be
true.
considered for that game.
So
So
it's you versus me this Saturday, isn't it?
yep. Interesting match. Both definitely you are still in the hunt for quadruple, but Chelsea has to be fair. The last cup we win is actually the World Club Cup. Okay, but the interesting part, we have no cup in terms of English game. So FA Cup could be the consolation cup for us if we are lucky enough against Liverpool this weekend.
Okay.
All right. So if you have this team, you have 127 points, but still the game is not finished yet. Maybe Nikitia or even San could actually score more
But
points from these players.
so you need to free hit in game week 37 into this kind of team.
So we'll walk through the match analysis, the big teams. Okay, we just have a look at Liverpool, who played 2 games, where Liverpool played the tough match against Spurs, and then away to Villa. Okay, we can see already mentioned that Salah has not been involved so much in this game. He only scored 3 points, but we want to mention Luis Diaz is the players now look a lot more attention from managers. He scored the goal from the first game and assist from the second game. He scored, I'm not sure, is it 12 points, something like that. So yes, the man for Liverpool. Do you agree on this, man?
Yeah. In fact, I was thinking of whether, we were talking of whether Luis Diaz could be considered the signing of the half season. Um, but because since he's come in, he's pretty much displaced Jota as the first choice in the front lineup. Although it did mean that Liverpool's lineup shifted a bit. So instead of Mane on the left and Jota in the middle and Salah on the right, so Diaz is now on the left. Mane goes to up top in the middle. instead. So, but the thing is, it's really helped Liverpool to have someone come in and make such a good impact immediately. Um, but at the end of the day, when you look at the FPL points here, you don't have any money or Salah, and the fact Thiago is the one who's assisted, it goes to show that we had a bet we were not able to get past Spurs. Now, obviously, Spurs were defensive, but then they had to be. I'm not going to blame them, unfortunately. And it was really the failure of Liverpool to find a way past the Spurs defense. Yeah, and so credit to Spurs for that one. So it does mean that we're facing an uphill battle because Liverpool now need Manchester City to falter, and based on the last two Manchester City results, that's not gonna, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, yeah. So I just have a look. Lias actually scored 15 points. Yeah, 1-5. So he's on form. To be fair, he could be the first choice right now. But the FA Cup looming during the weekend. There's some potential rotation. Even upcoming 37 and 38. We're not too sure how to Klopp will line up his team. Another one we want to highlight people who or managers that have Robertson. He only played the first game and sub out on the 64 minute or something like that, and he
Yeah.
did not play the second game, right? And Simikas did play, so that's
Yeah.
just something to highlight. So if he miss out this one, he could be more likely to play in 37 and 38. Just one more a bit. Matip did not play the Spurs game. To me, it's a surprise one. I think he should play in the league game, but at least he scored the second game to award the managers who had him.
Yeah, that might just be managing after the Champions League game. So, but it's glaring when you look at those two matches that among the Salah was nowhere in the points, Mane and Diaz were, and TAA was nowhere in the points either, but Van Dijk and Matip were. So it's hard to take. Just quickly on Villa. So Villa, the popular pick, which was Coutinho, just totally had no impact, and he was substituted out in both matches after failing to really make any impact. So, of course, those who have him will probably hang on to him for this week.
Yep.
But for me, even though if he does perform in game week 37, it's been disappointing for since I picked him up after all carding, I think.
Okay. Fair, fair, fair. We go to the next one. Man City. We can see there goal galore from Man City. 5-0 at home against Newcastle, and then away to Wolves. 5-1. This is where the form is. Man
Yep.
City, as we know, the team in terms of attacking, they are ruthless. The first game, not so much on KDB. We can see Sterling 2 goals, even Foden coming from the bench and scored the goals. Laporte, okay, 1 goal and clean sheet. Okay, Cancelo assist, and then KDB out of nowhere, okay, explode and scored 4 goals to a piece. I think maybe 10% of managers who have him. I'm not sure about how many will captain him. One of them is me, who trying to be different and got the reward. So from these two games, mean in terms of Man City asset, do you feel an urge, okay, especially to get the likes of KDB or even Sterling or other asset to come in for the last 2 game weeks?
Definitely, because the question that we need to ask now, because although City only have one match in week 37, but something we talked about before the show was that the fact remains that City have to win the league, otherwise they'll end the season without a trophy, which crazily
Yep.
as enough as it seems, Guardiola cannot allow that to happen. So definitely they'll be going guns blazing, and yes, that also means that they need to look at that goal difference just in case they happen to lose against West Ham or Villa. Then that could what we thought was not going to happen in terms of that goal difference could still happen. So City look like they clearly ensuring that if that does happen, they'll win on goal difference. And so that's 5 goals in the first game, 5 goals in the second game, and you would think that they would still keep this momentum. I was disappointed by Newcastle, though, considering the form they had been in the second half of the season. Yet somehow this, and it just felt like this capitulated, but still credit to City. So if you look, Sterling was the consistent player across both matches, with 2 goals and all 3 bonus points in the first match, and then another goal, and there was still
And
another
even
goal.
FCs, yep. Mm.
Yeah, and an assist. So yeah,
Yep, yep.
so if you had picked
Yep.
Sterling and not De Bruyne, no issue. not but not an issue,
Yep,
is it?
I think this the thing. Although they have one game week like you mentioned, 37, definitely a lot of managers will bring any Man City asset to make a difference. Okay, and if you do not trust any Liverpool asset like Salah, you think you want to displace or be different, this could be the option that you can venture
It is.
into.
It is. Yeah. So
Yep,
the other question that needs to be asked is Salah worth it? Because he is an awful lot of money, but not enough output. And the good thing
yep,
is that because there's no matches for the Premier League on Saturday, they're all on Sunday, which means we get to see the fallout from the FA Cup final and decide from
yep.
there.
Yep. I agree. Man. The team that are going to play FA Cup final, the FA Cup finalists, Chelsea, who also played 2 games in game week 36. The first one against Wolves. Lukaku scored 2 goals, but disappointingly, Chelsea continue not keeping clean sheet. Where Wolves scored and come back and scored 2 goals. Okay, Wolves, who are actually dire form, they even managed to get these 2 goals. And then Chelsea need to come back in terms of form. They win against Leeds, which is vital in terms of top 4 spot. They are really affecting from Arsenal and Spurs gaining the points, and Chelsea keep dropping points. They win this crucial match against relegation battle team Leeds United, who actually badly need points. They are now in the bottom 3. Lukaku scored again. Mount continue to consistently perform when he plays. The first game he did not turn out at any minutes, even 1 point he did not. So James finally scored 13 points, like we mentioned, and all 3 bonus points. I mean, so Chelsea still have good matches for the next 2 games. Later we have see the fixture ticker. Do you still interest in Chelsea as set to bring in, or no? We should focus on Liverpool and Man City. On mute, man.
So they were look like they were gonna win that match, and then suddenly ended up having to draw, conceding 2 goals. So it showed, because all the amongst the talk that we had was that Wolves were so far on the beach. We kept talking about Southampton, but turns out Wolves are even worse. But somehow they clawed back and somehow managed to score 2 goals towards the end. But of course, Chelsea made sure that didn't happen against Leeds. Leeds, unfortunately, with James getting that would be Dan James on the lead side getting sent off, so making it much more easy for Chelsea and a relief for them.
Yep. So
So
I
so
think this.
so so yeah. So I think Leeds did them a favor, but then it does also mean that Leeds are in trouble themselves. So you got to see whether or not you know.
Yeah.
I remember before the deadline, I was thinking of putting in Rafinha. I'm
Yep.
glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't, because it looks like there's no synergy anymore, and the fact that
Yep.
the players
Um,
getting sent off, the
yep.
discipline is disappearing, isn't it?
So if this kind of form Leeds United, later we jump straight to the fixture. Let's go fixture
Okay.
ticker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we can see here for the next 2 games, 37, 38, in terms of teams who on the top is actually the team who played double this week. Okay, Leicester, Burnley, Crystal Palace, Everton, so called. Okay, to an
No, no,
extent, Aston Villa there. All
no.
right.
Burnley, yeah, they will all play doubles this week. Yeah,
Yep.
Burnley didn't. Yeah, but yeah, okay.
So in terms of team to target, Leicester to some extent, okay, because they played Watford and their last game Southampton, although they have Chelsea matches that a bit tough there. Burnley, Tottenham away, Aston Villa away, and then Newcastle at the home. Burnley still in favour to survive this relegation, but they still have some tough fixture. But home to Newcastle could be the one that they should win or get the 3 points. When see in terms of Leeds United, even though they played home to Brighton and away to Brentford, both teams actually difficult to I must say. Brighton really on form, and then Brentford, you cannot easily say they also will try to win this game even though they are safe now. Okay. So Crystal Palace also have 2 games, Villa and Everton away. Okay. And Manchester United at home, even though Manchester United now are not really tough to play, and Crystal Palace could win this game against Manchester United. Everton played 2 games, home, Brentford and Crystal Palace, and then last game Arsenal. That's the tough one. Tottenham definitely good. Burnley and Norwich. Okay, game Burnley at home, Norwich. Villa, Crystal Palace, and Burnley will be good, but Man City a tough one at last game. So this is the fixture. I think the team to target. We can see Manchester United not going to play this week. Blank this week, 27. They already played extra match, and 38 away to Crystal Palace. So anything particular that you want to take away from here?
We'll have to see the outcome of tonight's match. But one of the talks from Gameweek 31 onwards was that Spurs have some delicious 2 final matches of the season. So the thing is, in Gameweek 37, they only play once. So this is where the dilemma, and it's well for those who don't have a free hit, it's probably harder. But for those who do have a free hit, then you have the option of mixing it up, because you could have a premium Spurs player like Kane or Son, but you could still have enough double gamers from Leicester, Burnley, Crystal Palace, Everton, because and even Villa if necessary, because let's face it, they're affordable. I don't think there's a
Yep.
single player there except Vardy who's a premium player.
Yep.
Meaning 10 units and above. Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of Vardy, 2 goals. Suddenly, coming back,
Yep. He put
and
his inside in contention.
just decides to make it hard for us. After he's been, but because I had written him off, and
Yep. Back.
suddenly he's back again, and he faces Watford. Okay,
Yep.
which is very attractive, and he
Yep.
faces Chelsea, who will have just finished the FA Cup.
Yep.
So, and we know Chelsea's defense has been facing issues, and
Fair.
of course, obviously they kept a clean sheet against Leeds, but were a man down very early in the game. So, yeah, you would say it would still be attractive, and the final match is against Southampton, who we know can
Yep.
just let loose 7 and
In
8
front
goals.
of the crowd for the last match of the season. Yep.
Yes, that's right. They need to finish on a high, Leicester, because they got dumped out of the conference, and they've not. Obviously, you can argue they don't really have anything to play for, in terms of Europe. But then they if they're anything like Manchester City, they want to finish off nicely and give their fans something to cheer for after all that hope just disappeared.
Yep. Yep. So means in terms of free hitting, yeah, you can take advantage. But if let's say managers like in your position, your situation, no chips left. What do you think the teams that we can take advantage in 37 and 38?
Well, for those with no chips,
Yeah, no chips like
okay.
yourself.
It's okay. It really is dependent on your team. Um, for me, in terms of double
I mean,
gamers,
I just put into context. If let's say we are interested in Everton and Villa, who play both, they play both game home.
at home.
Okay, so you can take advantage. But then the last game of 38, Everton face away to Arsenal, which is we can tough, and Aston Villa definitely tough away to Man City. So in terms of investing, you mean that you cannot fully invest because the last game, right, in that situation.
Yeah, and so if you look at that, your Crystal Palace aren't as good at away as they are at home. So definitely there's some interest there. Although Brentford can be pretty tough for Everton, but the good thing about Everton right now is that they're looking at Leeds behind them and thinking that yeah, we might survive this. We're gonna
Yep,
make this. Yeah,
yep, yep. I think
and
so.
even
They
Burnley,
can.
yeah, even Burnley are gonna fancy the chances as well. You know,
Yep. So
Everton
if let's say
definitely.
Leeds, based on the form, if Leeds against Brighton at the home, Brighton is definitely uh,
Yeah.
a team that can score your goal, even though away, and Brentford. It looks like maybe Leeds that are going to go down if they are
Yes,
if
because
yeah.
Everton only need a win. They just need a win. Need a win, and they're confirmed. They will survive. And
Okay.
actually, um, actually they don't even need to win. They just need a draw. Yeah, a win will confirm it, but I think a draw is also because Leeds winning against Brighton or Brentford. I, yeah, I mean they need at least they need to win both, and I just can't see that happening for
Yep. In
Leeds.
terms
I
of
think
goal difference, Leeds are terrible.
way
Okay.
way way
More.
bad. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, City they
So
just happened to run into City as well, who just go try to up their goal difference, and Leeds was the perfect opportunity.
so
Um,
you can see there, Burnley, if let's say they lost both game away to Spurs and Villa, they could actually win against Newcastle. So Burnley should have the upper hand.
Yeah. So Burnley. Speaking of Burnley, so they face Spurs. Our Spurs are fighting for for the Champions League. Yeah, and the funny part is that Chelsea are at risk at losing that third spot. Yeah, they if they're not
Yep.
careful, so either one of Arsenal. If Arsenal win, they are in a better position to take over that third spot from Chelsea because that will put them on 69 points, just 1 point behind Chelsea. Whereas if Spurs win, it's better for Chelsea if Spurs win. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, because they're further away. They're 4 points behind Arsenal. Yeah, but the thing is, this North London derby, anything can happen. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Okay. Let's go to the next one. We concentrate on the double game week 37. Which team are playing double? Villa, okay. Crystal Palace at home, Burnley at home. Burnley away to Spurs and Villa, both away. Crystal Palace both away, also away to Villa and Everton. Everton play both at home, which they need to take advantage. They are strong at home. Brentford home and Crystal Palace home. Although both teams are quite tough to be said. Leicester, we're not too sure which Leicester side to turn up, but Watford away and Chelsea away, like you mentioned, are not so consistent in terms of goal defending. So I just put some players to target if let's say you want to consider this week on free hitting, especially, but also to consider if you want to bring him in to take advantage of these two game in 37. Aston Villa especially. I did not put any Coutinho because he's like now we can see that he's in terms of minutes are not too secure and he could be rotated. So Watkins come into place because he's in scoring form. To be fair,
Yep.
although he's slightly injured last game, I'm not too sure in terms of his injury. Cash, okay, or even Digney, depending on how your appetite. Digney did assist last game. He's created more chances in terms of to Aston Villa, but to me, Digney has been failure to me, especially when I
Yeah,
have him. And
it's
then
not just
Martinez
you,
in goal.
millions
Yeah.
of others. We always let go of Dini, and suddenly he thinking that he's injured, and then suddenly he turns up and does well. It's so annoying.
So if let's say we're targeting Villa, I mean, what do you think? Which player the right player?
Yeah, I mean the problem is that Watkins is an injury doubt, isn't he? Yeah, and I'm not altogether. I'm not that keen on Aston Villa, even though I have two players. And the thing is because they they played two matches in game week 36. So I know we talk about how they have two double doubles, but that could theoretically mean that they might be a bit tired in the next one. So let's not forget they in game week 36 the first match was against Burnley, so they won that one. So they're gonna face Burnley again, but this time at home. But the second match they played Liverpool, which was it really took a toll on the players. That one,
Yep.
obviously Liverpool, they really fought, they really tried to get something out of it, but Liverpool,
Yep. Yep.
the quality was just
Actually,
but
they had chances, Villa, to be fair, when I saw the highlight.
so the problem. So now they face Crystal Palace, who didn't have a midweek match, so they're more well rested, and you would think that Palace could get something out of it. But the problem is that historically Palace have been quite bad away from home. The form is quite different away from
Yep.
home and at home. So, but then after that they place Burnley. Now Burnley didn't play an extra match in game week 36 either. So they might be a bit more fresher than Villa. Although Burnley for the first match of game week 37 they do play Spurs though. Okay, so
Okay.
so I just move into Spurs. Sorry for talking a bit long, but Spurs have come off a grueling match against Liverpool, and where they
Mm.
but it wasn't midweek; it was during the weekend. Um, so
And they're going to face tonight. Tough match against Arsenal.
exactly, so they got two tough matches before they face Burnley. Yeah, so I would looking at that combination of factors, and I'm considering Burnley to be honest. Yeah,
Yep.
I
Okay.
mean they playing away, but they I think they're extremely motivated now. Now because it really looks like they have a good shot at surviving, thanks to
Okay.
Manchester City. So I
So we
think I
can
think
we jump to Burnley asset. I
yeah
put the Wet Horse and Cornet. You previously had the experience of Cornet. Do you
yeah
think this is the player if you want to consider to bring him in or
yeah
others?
definitely it's them, isn't it? The only problem with Burnley is uh, I think Tarkowski is injured, isn't he?
Okay.
Or suspended. I can't remember what. I'm sorry, I didn't follow Burnley. So that's where the defensive issues might be. Yeah, he's injured. Yeah, hamstring injury. So yeah, but if you're looking at the Burnley players, then yeah, it's still Weghorst and Cornet. I don't think Spurs will really keep a. I don't think Burnley will keep a clean sheet. So, but the attack, there's definitely potential there.
Okay. For Crystal Palace, I just mentioned, I think the only player that people are going to consider is Zaha. Okay. He's on penalty. He's been scoring. If you trust Crystal Palace going to keep clean sheet away from home, Anderson could be the one. But other than that, Mateta or others in terms of minute, not too sure. I mean, so I think the only asset that should consider from Crystal Palace is Zaha.
So yeah. So Crystal Palace, although they've been attacking, but really you're right. Zaha seems to be the only person to consider. Gallagher has disappeared
Oh
in
yeah, I
terms of
forgot about him. Yeah.
yeah. So to be honest, to be fair, I haven't really watched much of Palace, but I do suspect I'm going to scour the forums and then we'll talk about it on Sunday morning. In terms of what is it, a positioning issue? Yeah. So, or is it he's just really not been there in terms of goals? Because
Yeah.
because I was looking early on when I found out Palace was doubling in 37. I was definitely looking at Gallagher as a
Yep.
option
Yep. I
for
agree. I agree.
because I think there's definitely goals to be had there. But I'll need to find out. Yeah, so I don't know because if it is a positioning thing, then he may not be a great pick.
Yep. So we go jump to Everton asset who you might not so interested because you've been foiled a lot times from Everton. But Richardson, the number one. Okay, people are considering even bring him. Let's see, Richardson on penalty. He's the front man. He's the talisman. And then Gordon, I put there a cheap enabler. He takes set pieces, although he's now sharing with Gray. And then Pickford, who has been great in terms of saves and maybe clean sheet, especially at home, man. Is this the
Yeah,
player that should consider in terms of Everton asset?
yeah. Everton at home, they just a win and they survive. Yeah, so they're definitely motivated. So yeah, I think especially for those who are on a free hit, you should have at least one player. I don't think it should be Pickford because I do think Brentford and Crystal Palace will both score, but I
Okay.
think Everton will, should be able to score.
Yep. But I still remember Manchester United and Chelsea played in Everton. They should score, but Everton kept clean sheet. So they are capable. They are capable of keeping clean sheet.
Ah,
Okay.
Chelsea.
So last but not least, Leicester. Maybe
Hmm.
I don't know. Some managers are really interested. Way back, I think before Walcadi and so on in 34, or even before that, they played a lot of double double. Madison, Barnes, and now Vardy scored recently. They played away to Watford and Chelsea. Do you feel we should give more consideration in terms of Leicester attack?
Yeah, so the problem with Leicester now is that is because Vardy, will he be able to play two matches, three matches in a row? So I don't think that's going to happen. So that's putting me off Vardy. Barnes has not been producing as well, and the thing with Vardy scoring two goals, let's remember that it was Norwich that they were playing against, who just totally lost the plot. um, so my it's about medicine, is it? Although even Harvey Barnes returned to form against Norwich. Um, so I
Yeah,
would
yeah. Barnes scored 10 points and Madison 8 points. He scored goal against
yeah.
Norwich.
So I
So
would argue it's still between Madison and Barnes. Yeah, I probably wouldn't move for Vardy.
all right, let's go to free hit draft. The template that I have, I scored from Twitter and so on. I think this could be the one or the template that should be this week. Okay, you're not so confident on Pickford, but other manager might feel better. Pickford at in goal, then TAA against Southampton away. They can be explosive anytime. Southampton has been dire form. And then two, Villa Asset, okay, at home, Crystal Palace and Burnley, Cash and Digney especially are attacking players in terms of different ni. And then Zaha, okay, the only rep from Crystal Palace, Son, who has been he has scored recently against Liverpool. He could score tonight again. We're not sure. And then KDB, who scored 4 goals. Salah continue to be in there in terms of Liverpool asset. Gordon as the enabler. And then up front, two players, Watkins and Richarlison. Okay. So, what do you think, man, in terms of free hitting template? Do you feel these are the players to target, or you feel there should be other players in terms of, let's say, Leicester? There's no representative in here.
It's a tough one, isn't it? Remember I mentioned Burnley might be good here. Yeah, so it's just the
Yep.
problem of who to slot that in for. Um, so I would think that Burnley, someone like Cornet could do better than Son in a single match. Yeah. So
But I can
yeah.
see home to Burnley and Spurs. If let's say win tonight, he could or
Yeah.
Sun
So
and this.
you're right. You're right. A lot depends on how tonight's game is, and if Spurs win this game against Arsenal, you should definitely look into bringing in Spurs
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah. Spurs, if let's say wins and Sun actually involved a squad, I don't know, one or
yeah,
brace, definitely is in
because
consideration.
because suddenly they'll be 1 point behind Arsenal, so that getting that Champions League spot becomes so much better. Whereas if Spurs lose tonight, I seriously think they might end up being demotivated.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
and
fair.
not do so well. So if Spurs do win against Arsenal tonight, I think you might want to consider at the very least Kulusevski in the team. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Kulusevski's had his rest, and it was proven that it was wrong to rest him.
Yeah.
So now I think yeah. If you can't afford much money, then Kulusevski. If assuming Spurs win tonight, then at least
Yeah,
Kulusevski
yeah, yeah.
coming into your team.
So you can play around in terms of three premium players, like San, KDB, Salah. If you don't know want this combination, you feel you want to have Kane, then you sacrifice KDB or San, depending on how you see this lineup. But I think a lot of media trying to get 3 Everton and Villa player that I can see, and maybe one rep from Zaha. Although we are so no Arsenal rep here. Arsenal facing away to Newcastle and they could actually score big. So likes of Nikita Osaka could actually should be in the team as single game week players, but I'm not too sure on that.
Well,
Gordon
Newcastle,
could be Nikita.
yeah, Newcastle at home are a bit stronger though. So
Okay, fair,
yeah, it's a tough one. And it'll be Newcastle will be their last match at,
fair.
for the season at home. So and because there's a big anticipation that they're going to go on to bigger things, thanks to new
Fair
investment for
for
a new
next
stadium.
season. Yep.
So it might be extremely important for them to sign off at St James Park with a win.
Okay. Let's go to game week 37 fixture. We run through all the fixture in terms of
Yep.
me. But I just pointed out the single game week that we should our consideration, especially of free hitting, like Spurs to Burnley at home, West Ham to Man City. Man City, to be fair, on form, we can see 5-0 and 5-1 scoring, and this West Ham, although tough on paper, they could actually destroy West Ham again with that kind of score
Mhm.
line. Wolves to Norwich. Norwich has been, and maybe you want to take advantage of any single game week player from Wolves. Although predicting them is a tough one. Newcastle away to Arsenal, but you mentioned Newcastle at home a bit tough, but Arsenal could be a consideration. And then Southampton to Liverpool. Okay, Liverpool could actually score big away to Southampton. So, what do you think, mate, in terms of single game weeks, which is should be our priority?
For the single gamers, yeah. The thing is, plenty of managers probably came into Game Week 37 with at least Salah and TAA, so definitely, they're not gonna leave the team. Although, yeah, of course, those who sold Salah for KDB is a different story. But as mentioned earlier, it's a good thing that because there's no match on Saturday, so we get to see the outcome of the FA Cup first. Other than Liverpool, yeah. So it's Manchester City, isn't it? Uh, are we gonna miss out on them hauling as they look to really sign off on the season with a flourish? Um, I
Yep.
already I'm in two minds as to whether or not it's worth it. Yeah. Um, but KDB is clearly the man on form at the moment. Obviously, last match was quite early, but KDB when you see when he's on form, he's really on form. Yeah, he's getting into those goal scoring positions as well, which is something that we were worried he wasn't doing enough of earlier in the season, with the likes of Foden, Grealish, even Jesus and Mahrez
Yep.
all getting further in
Mahrez.
front, and even Bernardo Silva was much further ahead than him, but that seems to be gone now. Um, Probably wouldn't go for Arsenal assets at this point. Um,
Okay.
so
Yep. Still
uh,
depending on tonight, maybe. Yep.
yeah. So I'm personally at the moment I'm looking at Burnley, Palace, um, Leicester, and Everton. So those are all the double gamers on there.
Okay, fair.
But it's
Yep.
hard. It's about picking the right player, isn't it? So yeah.
Yep. Yep. This is the last game or double game week of the week. So try to take advantage of it that I can see.
Yeah. Yeah, just a last thought. So going into last week's double game, the man who wasn't informed going into that double game was Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah,
Okay.
so
Fair.
going into game week 36. So
Yep.
could that
People are
happen?
not really talking about him. Yep.
Yeah, so could that happen again this for game week 37? The person
Yeah,
informed
it could
suddenly
be. It could be.
bunches out. Yeah,
Could
which
be.
which is which this crazy line of logic makes me wonder whether Gallagher is the person to go for.
Yeah. Yeah, scoring for news about Gallagher and we discuss again. Okay.
Let's see.
Next, Captain Pick, man. We touch a bit. People are voting in. I think earlier today I snapshot around 1,000 votes coming in. Richarlison on top. Managers are trusting him for the armband this week with 26%. Okay, he played both game at home. Okay, and then Son, even though he played one game, we know Son can explode anytime and score big at 20%. Watkins, who played double game weeks, Villa played both at home. If he fits, he could be in contention. Zaha number 4, and then Salah, who are people are not considering. But I know when people are not considering Salah, and that is where he gonna perform. And against Southampton, he could actually uh, produce the points, that big points like I miss out on the 19 points on game beat 33. So it's definitely better between single gamers or double gamers, like we mentioned before. We have been in this situation before. I mean, Richardson, Watkins, or even Son or other players, single gamers. What do you think, man?
It's tough, isn't it? I don't know. The captaincy is going to be a really tough one.
It will be dispersed lah. A lot of managers have
Yeah, it,
a lot of options.
it's a bit of it. The dilemma is because pretty much all except Vardy among the double gamers are not premium players. So we're used to captaining the premium player in our selection. So, but for this game week, inevitably the if you captain a premium player, chances are he will only have one match. So whether it's KDB, whether it's Salah, whether it's
Son.
Son, whether it's Kane, they all only have one match. So you need to balance that out. So it's really tough, and I can't answer this question. I'm tempted to captain Coutinho as a
Okay,
random.
okay, fair.
So
It works before, yeah, but it
but
also works that only single gamers players and they produce the double digit points.
true, yeah. So um, really need to decide that uh are
Yeah,
the double gamers going to do enough to outscore the big single gamers? Yeah.
yep, it's a tough one to be fair, but
So
I've tried the rock way, picking KDB. Maybe I should also try this week the double gamers, whether Richardson or Watkins, if he fits. See how it goes.
okay, so you see I've dodged the question and not really answered who I think the captains pick. Well, honestly, I really don't have any idea at the moment.
Maybe we have a look first after Spurs and Arsenal game, and team news will clarify better.
Yep.
Okay. Let's go to the transfer plan, man. What's you gonna do this week?
Right. So okay, I actually saved the transfers, so I have two transfers for this week, which is good. And I might and uh, so here are the players I'm looking at. All right. Gallagher, either Madison or Barnes.
Okay.
Yeah, and Villa probably not, because I do think I already have enough Villa there.
Yep. You already
And
have two players.
yeah,
Yeah.
and where the single gamers, definitely Manchester City, but where and how I do not know. So it depends on on the FA Cup match, because if Jota doesn't play start the FA Cup match, then that's my opening in order to bring.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
Yeah, or even on the Chelsea side, if Mount, Havertz or James even get, if anyone gets injured there, then the window is there. And the fact that I have two transfers does help. And
Yep.
so so it really is dependent on Saturday night's game. Yeah, but the as I mentioned earlier, the Gallagher thing will be a dark horse pick. Yeah,
Yep.
in
You're used to that dark horse pick. Yep. I know.
because Zaha will no doubt be very popular this week. And a lot of
Yep.
people, because of KDB hauling, they picked him up early. Obviously, his price increase. I don't see the point, because at the end of the day, it's still only two matches to go. But I guess for free hitters, then it will help, because they can always sell them back, no problem,
Okay.
if they end up not with KDB. Yeah, so so
So
so
maybe Madison and Barnes, the pick.
yes, yeah, I do think that Madison and Barnes, who both returned in the last match, they could they could return for the rest of the season. Well,
Yep.
it's only 3 more matches, but yeah, I think there's some potential there. The problem is, as it stands, I can only pick one of them because I have Fofana
And
already
Schmeichel.
and Schmeichel. So that's on hindsight, but that's okay. It's done.
Yep, it's done. Okay, good. Uh, we'll finalize again on the deadline stream.
Yeah.
For my team, okay, I'm shifting. It's not coming out. Sure. Okay, my team, I'm going to free hit this week, man. As
Yep.
you know, my team will definitely like template team, like the first draft that we shared. Pickford. I have TAA and Cancelo as Siga gamers. I feel they still have value in terms of producing points this week. Although I'm still open to different players. Okay, Cash is the one from Villa. Maybe I'm going to give him a chance instead of Dini, but it's all depending if I want to bring in Dini. Saka is still there. Zaha, I brought him in. KDB because his last game 4 goals. Salah still there. Okay. Gordon, as my ambler. I bring in Watkins and Richardson also up front. Okay. I still feel Son deserve a place here, although I'm short of money in terms of bringing him in. So I could actually downgrade one of TAA or Cancelo to, I don't know, 4 million plus or something like that, and bring and Saka to Sun. So that's some of the option that I can do. If Watkins not fit, Ings could come in. He should play. Or maybe I can consider Coutinho or Bundia at midfield and play. I will have some short of money and maybe 4-5-1 and play Richardson only up front. So those are the option in free hitting. But I try to get at least a few Seager gamers, but most of it will dominated by double game week players, like 6 or 7 players from double game week.
Well, at the
That's
moment in your starting lineup you have 6. So
yep. So it could easily I downgrade Cancelo to Digny and upgrade Saka to. I still don't have a lot of money. My team value is quite low, so I need more cash from somewhere. But I'm not too sure.
Salah.
Yep. Salah is also a consideration. Maybe downgrade to Mane. See how the FA Cup will go. We will know better because, like you mentioned, later we touch on the deadline. Time.
Southampton's a former club of Mane, just to
Yep.
tease
Yep.
you.
Or could go down further, like Jota or Diaz. Could be a good punt also. And for 1 week, yeah, that could also be a consideration. I feel so. So I could have, but most of the team try to fit in these 3 premium players: Salah, KDB, and Son for this week. So that's how I'm thinking right now, man.
Okay.
Any comment?
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, yeah, as you mentioned, it's like a template in a sense. I guess the question it does come down to those question of those single gamers, isn't it? We'll find out about Saka whether or not he's fit as well, and for those TAA and Salah, there's a lot rides on the FA Cup final as well, and let's not forget in 2 weeks after that, then they will play in the Champions League final.
Yep.
Salah has now been benched 2 out of 3 the past 3 games. So it seems crazy to think he might still be benched again, but I don't know. It depends whether or not Klopp doesn't think it's realistic to think of about winning the league anymore.
Okay, could
Because
be.
because I don't know. I seem to be
To,
hearing that
to be
maybe.
fair, I'm surprised with benching against Villa.
Yeah,
That
so
shows.
because Liverpool are supposed to get goals they need to improve their goal difference if it happens, but not they haven't improved their goal and they dropped points against Spurs and they couldn't find. They were lucky to find that win against Aston Villa. They could easily have not won that match. So um, and the fact that they didn't play Salah from the start, it kind of tells me that is Klopp not thinking that it's possible anymore. Obviously they still got the win, but it's looking unlikely. So it becomes a
Yep.
risk. But it's
It-
a dropping him is a huge risk. You need to.
Oh,
But
yep. I've been that situation before. Yep, I
yeah,
know. When you least expected, when you feel itchy to move him, he
that's
scored
when you
19
go.
points.
Yeah. But I don't want to let this hang over my thread because it's been so many times that we think he's going to do it, but he
Yep.
didn't. Just like last
You
week.
left with 2 games of the season.
Yeah,
You
why
just
not? Yeah,
try. Yep.
burn it. Yeah.
Okay. We are come to the end of the show, but before that, we take question. Min, Rakan FPL ask a lot of question.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So, yep. Okay. Where you want to start?
Oh gosh. Dinia or cash? Sorry. I can't select, so you'll have to select.
Yep. Yep.
So
Disney or cash?
I still don't trust Dinia. We've seen him disappear randomly. I'm going to go for cash. I have cash anyway. So, um, but
Okay.
but but objectively, I still prefer cash. Even though Dinia is taking some free kicks, I just feel that cash has the better potential.
Yep. If I'm picking Disney again, this is my third time picking him. So I'm too sure. All right, next one. Dewsbury Hall or Gordon, mean both at same price roughly, and playing midfield.
Both players are attempting to make their mark in the Premier League, so I think it's quite equal. I think you can go for any.
Okay, but I feel Gordon could be vital in terms of Lampard team. Leicester, yeah, well, the Hall still play a lot of minutes, but yeah, in terms of Leicester motivation, yeah.
Okay.
Watkins or Ings?
It's an injury thing. If Watkins is fit, then it'll be Watkins.
Yep,
But
yep, yep.
but but if Watkins isn't, should we go for Inks? I think it's feasible as well.
Okay, Watkins are on penalty right now. If he's fit to play, I think he's the one. But Ings could be come into consideration. Next one, Mount or Havertz to keep versus Leicester. You are in this position, man. You have
Yeah.
Mount and
And my
Havertz.
answer is we'll have to wait until Saturday night. Yeah, it's impossible. On the basis of form, Havertz is clearly out of form at the moment, though. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, all right. Pickford for -4.
no.
I'm not sure who you have now, but I don't think so for a minus. Who you have? If they say you have Ramsdale, I think you just play him against Newcastle and he could actually keep clean sheet. Although Arsenal are not really informed in terms of keeping clean sheet right now.
He had an amazing match against Chelsea, but let's face it, that's not going to happen all the time.
Yep. Same. If Watkins fits to start both game, who to captain? We mentioned it. It's gonna be a hard one. You see, I'm trying to captain Watkins, but he also have tough matches. Richardson on home, he's more on form. I don't know, man. It's a tough one, lah.
Mm, Richarlison.
Okay, right. It's toss of coin. If Watkins to start only one games, who the best replacement? If Watkins is not secure in terms of his injury, then I think it could be Ings and Richardson up front if you want. Yep.
I'd go for Richarlison, but look at me
Yep. Yep.
recommending the Everton player.
Yep.
Goodness.
When you least expected time to sell Salah, I would not advise. But if you're free hitting, you could try luck in terms of other Liverpool players like Mane or even Diaz. See how you interested more to KDB, maybe.
Sell.
Okay, Azmin, as he say, will Lukaku start both Leicester? Not too sure. See how the FA Cup, and then we decide.
This is for me. This is too much of a risk because given, although to be fair, he is performing at the moment, but I wouldn't risk him because Chelsea as a whole aren't quite there.
Yep. All right. In terms of question, that's all for this week. We are going to okay when the deadline will be, as we mentioned. If you're not aware, I think it could be the first time on Sunday. Could be this season.
Yes, yes. First
Yep.
time that there's no match on Saturday, and it's
Yep. No match on Sunday because there will be FA Cup final Liverpool
even,
against
even
Chelsea this
yeah,
week,
even
and
during
then
that
Sunday.
COVID heavy period, there was still at least one match on Saturday. So
Yep. So
maybe
just to remind, 37 and 38 will be on Sunday. Yep. The last game will definitely on Sunday also because all matches we play on Sunday. So at 5:30 p.m. So you
okay,
have
yeah,
plenty of time this week. We are going to streamline hopefully on Sunday morning, man.
yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, so just one thing, don't at this time, who care? I don't care about uh, price
Yeah, price
saving
movement.
money, because there's no, you're only gonna keep them for one more week anyway, so I don't think you're gonna get much value in that. Just pick the player who you think will do well, and don't worry about this price. If it means that you end up with so much money in the bank, then so what?
I
It
mean,
doesn't matter.
yep. I mean, we left already with two only matches of the season. If you want to try differently, or you have to have fun in terms of maybe you don't care about your ranking anymore, these are the moments. I think this the last two games that you you could try if you don't care about your ranking anymore. Try a different kind of picks. I don't know. I tried Jesus and he's performed 2 points, but KDB could actually produce 30 points. That kind
Yeah.
of picks. So that's all for this week, man. Hopefully, wish you all the best. May the force be with you. Hit the like button and subscribe to our FPL for us, man.
Thank you. Good luck, and see you
Thank
Saturday.
you.
See you Sunday morning, I think.
Bye
That's the
bye.
bye.